introduce yourself and who you have with you today.
Yeah, I'm Jeremy Green. I'm the head football coach at Armuchee High School in Rome, Georgia. And I have a senior wide receiver and DB, J.J. House, and sophomore quarterback, DB and wide receiver, Jackson Coonley.
Coach, what we like to do with these interviews is not per se about the game today. It's more about your whole spring experience. Last year it was kind of taken away from us, with COVID hit and everything. But since you've had your hands on the guys this spring, what's that look like for you and your program?
It's been the most enthusiastic spring that we've had, and numbers are up about 20 kids. And we talked about last year that all that we went through with COVID was going to teach us, what we missed, kind of things we took for granted. And you kind of tell that kids took that message to heart. It's been great.
And Coach, what is it about these two gentlemen per se that you brought them up here to talk when you have a whole team full of guys?
Well, they both made great plays in the game. JJ scored a couple of touchdowns, I think, and Jackson recovered a fumble for a touchdown. But they're both great athletes and tough kids and great competitors. Both smart in the classroom and all-around good kids.
Good kids. Now, when you hear Coach talk about you in those kind of terms, what does it mean to you personally?
I'm just thankful for how he contributes to us and teaches us. And he don't only teach us how to play football, but he teaches us how to be a man.
There you go. Like it. Same question to you.
It means a lot because I really look up to Coach Green with all the life lessons that he's taught us and everything. It just means a lot hearing that he does that, or he recognizes our game.
I'm going to recognize something right here. Both you guys got pretty sweet haircuts, man. We're going with the 80s IROC Z78, and we got a surfer look right here, man. Like, what brought on this look for you, man?
I knew I'm always a different kind of person. And
He's too lazy to get a haircut.
Hey, come on, man.
I love it. What about the surfer look, man? I like it.
I've always had this haircut.
I'm digging it, man. I like it. Coach, heading into the summer, that's always one of the biggest for a football team. I know when we were kids, we didn't always practice in the summer, but now you have to if you're behind. It's over with. Going into this summer, what are some of the things you look to improve on heading into the fall with that momentum, baby?
Well, to me, June's a big passing game and strength and conditioning month. There's not a lot you can do out of pads other than fine-tuning your passing game, and you want to go in and lift heavy, and train, and you want to keep your team together through June. That's one of the most important things is get your football team to July on the dead weekends and everything, because really football, it really starts in July. We don't try to kill them in June. We go what amounts to about 6 or 7 hours a week, and try to let people go on vacations and stuff like that. But, mostly have a good time, get your team to July.
Well, guys, I appreciate you making the trip over. It's been a pleasure to have you guys on, and looking forward to seeing you guys later on.
We appreciate what y'all do. Y'all do a great job.
Thank you, guys. Coach, if you would, introduce yourself and who you have with you today.
Coach Armstrong, Woodland, Alabama. Got Jackson Levering here, number 3 now, and 30, Parker Woodham.
Coach, these interviews that we're doing out here at JSU, it's not per se about the game so much. It's more about your spring in general. How's your spring look this time around?
It's been really good. Our baseball team went far into the playoffs, so they were right up to the time where they actually finished before we started spring ball. So we had some weather issues a couple times, but as a whole, we had a good spring. We played a lot of people today so we could evaluate everybody. I wanted everybody on film. I got some little ones who never played football a day in their life, so they get encouraged when they get to see themselves on film, and we can see potentially, he's really going to be better at the tight end than he is a guard or whatever.
When you come into events like this, are you looking more at your playbook or your players?
We're evaluating. If it's not a real game, we're always evaluating our kids. Everything. I want to win, but valuing the players is more important than the win. If Johnny hadn't been in the game yet and it's on the line and we could win it, I'm going to put Johnny in the game because it's not fair to him. He goes out and practice like everybody else, and I want to be able to evaluate him truthfully and honestly. And I think that's what helps our program. We treat every kid the same. Our best running back, our best quarterback, and I treat the little kid that don't even know how to line up yet the same. And I think they respect that. We've had almost doubled our team size. And as a 1A school, I look at my 7th grade class, and almost all of them at 2 are actually playing football. That's pretty big. When I got there wasn't but about 2 playing, so that's huge.
Coach, what is it about these two gentlemen that you chose them to come out here above all else?
Leadership and performance. They have both qualities, and they're going to be probably the biggest keys to us being successful on offense, other than our front line. We've got a real special group of guys up front. We're a heavy senior laden team this year. Last year as a junior class, we went 8-4 and we graduated 5. So, and really 3 guys that really contributed. So we had to fill up those 3 holes, which you can kind of see we're missing a couple things today, and that was those holes. But we got some young guys that we're working with, and we were trying people around to see who's going to be the guys that we think can take the place of those guys.
The guys, when Coach talks to you, talks about you in those terms as leadership, also executing. What does it mean for you to have Coach to have that perspective?
I'd say leadership for me and Jackson is having a communication from the O-line to all the backs and being able to tell the younger kids too what they're supposed to do, even though they don't get as much, but we still coach them up just as much.
Same question.
It helps a lot because we're such a tight group, and leadership just helps. Like, everybody can't say something. You got to have a few leaders, and it helps a lot to have 1 or 2 leaders. And just.
What do you like most about being able to play spring this year, having it taken away from you? What did you realize last year? It's one of those sayings, you don't know what you got until it's gone. How much have you cherished this one more than probably any other?
I realized how fun it was, how just them few little weeks you got in to work with your fellows, see what you got next year, see the things that you got to work over in the summer, and that shows a lot.
You left out talking real trash. I'm just playing.
Well, this is mine and Jackson's second spring game, so senior year it's fitting to have at least a second one.
Yeah, you go.
This is my first spring game because the first year I got hired in August, and this summer and spring. So yeah, we were really impressed with how the kids reacted and responded in such a short time. To be 8-4 this last year was big.
Coach, the summer workouts is what drives the program. What's that going to look like for you and your program?
Ours is very structured, but we have fun. We go over a lot of different things, but we make it fun. Our coaches have a great relationship with our kids. They really compete. We do a lot of competition type things, even if it's just running sprints, 2 or 3 at a time. We don't run 80 people at once. It's more individualized, but at the same time it builds team character because they're always trying to get better. And so we match, like these 2 guys are pretty fast, and so they push each other because he's trying to beat him, he's trying to beat him, and we do that in all our sprints and stuff. And a little package we got from a former player of mine that worked for Ole Miss in the strength room for a little bit. Now he's coaching up in Tennessee. I'm always trying to pick the brains of everybody I can because everything changes over time. Some things we still do. We still pull tires like we did 30 years ago and push the leads or whatever, but there's some things that can make a big difference, and we're always going to try to be cutting edge on helping our kids do whatever we can.
Coach, y'all got some of the sharpest uniforms I've ever seen. I'll tell you that. I love these uniforms.
We're hopefully we'll do some fundraising. This last year just killed us. COVID just killed us on the gates.
We've heard your echoes, brother.
We played 2 playoff games and ended up with $3,000, and that should have been more like $20,000.
That's right.
So we were going to buy uniforms, but that's kind of on the back burner right now. We'll see
I don't know
what
what these are, but these are fantastic. I love them.
We've always tried to. We're orange and blue, and we don't really use orange as a major color. We use it as our trim color, which I think is better personally.
Yeah, it's good.
But, we like them.
Well, Coach, good luck to y'all moving forward. I'm glad to have you guys on.
I appreciate you doing this, man. Thanks for all you do for high school football.
Thank you. Coach, introduce yourself and who you have with you today.
Rodney Bivens Jr., head football coach at Central Tuscaloosa High School. The guys I have with me right here standing direct to my right. I got Steven Hodges, plays strong safety. All right, and I have right here number 1, Keyshawn Wall, plays nickel outside linebacker.
Like he done knocked somebody out and broke his hand, Coach.
He did have a little red and white scrimmage last week, and he chipped up a little bit.
I got you. Coach, let's start out this interview more like the spring in general. Okay. Last year it got taken away from us with COVID and all that. What's it been like to have your hands back on these guys from day one in spring to now?
Well, it was definitely vital for us. I feel like we need to go through spring training just to be able to get our hands on them, just so we can just compete, put the pads back on. It's been several months, and then like I said, with us being a young team and having a lot of newcomers, we definitely need to be able to get out there and bang around, just kind of seeing what we have and where we are. Just preaching being physical, hard-nosed, disciplined football, so we can carry into the summer and then make some improvements and go from there.
And Coach, my next question is, what have you found out about that team so far through the spring and over into today?
Hey, I think we definitely got a lot of tough kids, a lot of resiliency. We know we had some adversity as far as like some injuries, some guys getting banged up. Just fighting through everything we've been doing with the whole virtual, academic format. So we had a lot of kids just fighting through with everything that we've been doing with our setup. And it's even what we've been putting them through as far as our practice, because we got everybody cross-trained this year, just trying to keep our best guys on the field and, down numbers just a little bit. But like we say, hey, we're just going to be tough and then we're going to be hard-nosed. Field's going to go out there and go compete. And I think that's what we did today.
What is it about these two gentlemen that you brought them over everybody else in the team?
These are two of our top leaders. They definitely possess those characteristics that we talked about, just being tough, being physical. Like I said, the leadership ability, holding other guys around them accountable, and just doing what they have to. Like I said, even with the whole virtual academic format. And so one thing that we definitely preach is just taking care of your business off the field more so than on the field. Like I said, we got some guys that can play the game, and so we want to be well-rounded. These are two of our most well-rounded individuals, both on and off the football field.
I want to ask each one of you individuals, we'll start right here. What's it like, or what's it mean to you to have Coach think about that highly of you? What's that mean to you personally?
To me personally, it just feels great for him to even look at me as a leader, from how I started and how I am now. Well-rounded on and off field, like you said. It's an honor.
No doubt. Same question.
I'm honored to know that he feels that way about me, and I feel like I learned a lot playing with him, playing for him, and I feel like through all the adversity, he's taught me to be more of a man and to stand up and do what's right.
Now, let me ask each one of you, we'll start right back here with you. Having spring this year and having it taken away last year, those saying you don't know what you got until it's gone, you've heard that before, right? So,
Yes, sir.
What's it like to be able to come out here on a beautiful day like this, play the game you love, and having that opportunity this spring?
It feels great to load up the buses, to play with the guys. This feels great.
Like you said, it feels great. Play with guys. Last year, we didn't know how it was going to go. Came out here, did our thing, worked from basically not being able to play at all, to come out here and show I do what we do. Feel great, play with my brothers, my boys.
No doubt.
Just
hey, get to hit on somebody with a different team for once.
Yes, sir.
Coach, we'll close on this one, Coach. We always ask everybody this before they get out of here. Summer workouts is everything in these football programs now. What's that going to look like for your team in general this summer, moving forward and carry that momentum over into the fall?
Yeah, we've definitely been grinding in the weight room since November, so we're going to –
Y'all look like it. Y'all put together pretty good, man.
And so we're going to switch up the format a little bit. We're actually going to go 3 days a week. I know the camp circuit's still pretty big, so we still need the kids to be able to, for one, be able to have a vacation with their families, being able to go to the camps, which a lot of them on Fridays, Saturdays, and even on Mondays and whatnot. So we'll have a 3-day work week right there in the middle. We'll still have some 707s and OTAs, so we'll gear back up in about 3 weeks and get right back to work as far as in the weight room, really working on condition. Like I said, with a lot of guys playing both ways. We're still going to be able to go out there and compete against some other teams and programs to continue to try to build some depth with as many young guys that we have. So it's definitely important for us. So we're definitely looking forward to it. But right now, we'll go about 1 more week, take 2 weeks off, and then we'll gear right back up on June 8th.
Absolutely. Coach, I appreciate y'all taking time out of your day to do the interview with us, and good luck going into the season.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Coach, introduce yourself and who do you have with you today?
Kendrick Cook, Fultondale High School. Right here we got Noah Hamilton and Chico Hatton.
Hey, Coach, I know you haven't been at Fultondale a long time now, but I know this is your first time to get your hands on these guys. What have you seen since the time you've been there up until right now in the spring?
From day one, we decided that we build our program on discipline and fighting till the finish. One of our sayings is fight this fight. And however long that fight is, we're going to fight it. And these guys came from day one where we up down for little stuff to the day they fought to the very last second, to the very last breath. And that's what I asked them to do, and they showed up and did it.
Absolutely. Coach, I'm asking you this. What is it about these two gentlemen that you got in here over everybody else on the team?
So these two gentlemen today did something, and when their number was called, they answered. Chico stepped in and became our running back. We've had some things with one of the guys who we thought would be our guy. He wasn't there with us today. So Chico stepped up and toted it. And he had a heck of a day. And then Noah on the defensive side of the ball just refused to quit. He refused to quit, and that's who we want to be moving forward. We've lost somebody already this spring, and we've gone with the mindset the next person has to be ready to do the next job. And again, they have to fight that fight.
Now, I'm going to ask you guys this. Coach chose you two for a reason. He just explained those reasons. What does that mean to you to know that Coach has that much confidence in you?
I like that he got that he liked me like that. I knew Coach liked me like that.
I got you. Same question.
It means a lot. It shows he just got in and that he really cares for us.
Now, we've just seen you guys give a lot of heart out here. Like you said, fought to the last breath, the last whistle. Is that something you guys have instilled with you that you learned from Coach? Is that something you guys had before Coach got there? I got you.
I would say the culture changed around here.
Absolutely.
That we fought to the last second.
Having coached there and played at every level, you know, and been there and done that, and I know you guys ultimately go be trying to get to college and play somewhere. How has that helped you kind of mold your games and your work ethic, being around somebody who's done it like Coach has?
He basically a mentor. He tell us what he do, and then he bring people in to watch our practice. He gave us more opportunities, got people looking at us, and
like Chico said, it's a great opportunity. We never played a spring game at a college stadium. That gives people motivation.
Absolutely.
Playing in a college stadium. That's what
No doubt. Well, Coach, we always like to ask this. Now that you've had your hands on them in the spring, I know your work ethic. I know summer ain't going to be fun, but it's going to be necessary. What's summer going to look like for these gentlemen beside you and the rest of this program?
Moving forward, now we're focusing on the physical side. And of course, we're going to grow the X's and O's. But we got to change our bodies. We got to fight through pain and the little things that make football teams go from good to great. And we're going to handle that in the weight room. We have a strength conditioning coordinator who I worked very well with. We got a couple of guys on our staff now that are strength conditioning guys. So what we'll do, we're going to develop not only strength-wise and conditioning, but as you see, we already have athletes. But we want to enhance the athleticism by increasing lateral and linear movement. And that's all in our workout plan. We're going to do 7-on-7s, OTAs, and get these guys used to competing. Because at the end of the day, we all know the only way you get better is to compete. And everything we do in the weight room, we're going to compete. And we're on the field, we're going to compete. We had our family day, and there was a winner and a loser.
That's awesome.
So that's the way we roll now. And it drives the competition, and it drives the fuel in these kids. And I can't tell you how proud I am of them. And I'm getting emotional because it's almost like seeing your kid just grow up. And, you know, seeing these guys go from day one to today is above and beyond what they expected. And exactly what I expected.
Yeah. A lot of good things coming to Fulton that you guys talking about off the campus. We're definitely going to come out there and check you out. We're going to come hit a one-on-one with you for sure. First chance we get so we get through the spring and everything. So, Coach, I appreciate you, and I appreciate you two gentlemen coming on with us today, and good luck moving forward.
Thank y'all very much.
All right, Coach, introduce yourself and who you have with you today.
I'm Adrian Abrams, head football coach at Minor High School. All right, and I have a senior defensive end, Kedrick Walker, and a junior safety, Kelton Owens.
All right, Coach, we want to talk more about the spring in general than the game today. How's everything been since you had your hands on these guys? We know it's taken away last year from COVID. How's it been this year since you had your hands back on these guys for spring?
Well, I know the rules change as to you can forego spring and have an extra week there in the fall. But we got a new quarterback. We got a lot of new guys in the backfield and at skill positions and on the back end in defense. And so for us, it was just beneficial for us to have a spring. But I tell you what, looking at the tape on day one of spring practice and looking at the tape of practice 9, there was a tremendous difference. Now, out of today, we got a long way left to go, but show me a team in the country that does it.
Coach, what is it about these two gentlemen that you selected them above all else to come with you today for the interview?
Just because they exemplify exactly what our program stands for. They show up every day with their hard hat and their lunch pail ready to go to work. It doesn't matter. In the opinion of showing up ready to work and working hard, these guys don't have bad days and they don't have off days, so that's why they're standing here.
When you hear Coach talk about you in those terms, what does that mean to you personally?
It's just normal, because reminder, we got to play physical hard. Just normal to us.
I got you.
We got to execute. Everything comes down to execute.
Absolutely. Now, for you two guys coming in, Coach obviously looks at y'all as leaders, or he wouldn't have brought you guys up here to be in front of the camera. As your role on this team, what does your role look like on this team? How do you lead by example?
I lead by example. I play discipline, I play hard, I play physical.
Anything happen, I keep my head up.
No doubt. Fight through adversity. Now, Coach, summer's always really important for every team moving forward. A lot of teams get most of their work done in the summertime. heading over into fall, you're going to have that momentum rolling. What's that going to look like for your program?
June 7th, we're going to get it going, and they know exactly what that looks like. I like going in the morning times. A lot of my kids have to work, so we're going to go early, and we're going to go often. And by the time we get here in August, we will be ready.
Absolutely. And guys, I'm going to ask you two guys this before we shut it down. What's it like having spring football this year? Last year it was taken away from us because of COVID. Did y'all appreciate it a little bit more this time?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Hey, I appreciate you guys taking time out. Great game today. Good luck going for you guys going forward.
I want to say a special thanks to Average Joe's for having us.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to say a special thanks to everybody who hosted us at this venue. It was a first-class event. So thank you, Jacksonville State. Thank you, everybody who helped put this on. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you. We appreciate you guys. Thank you. Coach, introduce yourself and who you got with you today.
Yes, I'm Coach White, the head coach at Anniston High School. Right to my left, I have my quarterback, Cameron Salmon. And right here, I got Antonio Kite, free safety.
Absolutely. Coach, this spring, last year got taken away from us with COVID and everything, and this spring you actually got your hands back on this guy. What's it been like since you had your hands on these guys and back having spring in a normal spring for you?
Man, you can't beat it. Be able to get in the weight room and really work, and, you know, that's what teams are built at. And teams just work together and pushing. It's just been a blessing. It's been fun. The kids love it. They're excited about working out. They beat me there. So, you know, it's been great to have this spring.
And Coach, you know, last year when I interviewed you one-on-one, we talked about, you know, the team in general, you was behind the eight ball, so to speak. You had COVID issues from day one.
Yes, sir.
But now that seems to be in the past. How much of a relief is it now that you can actually play with these guys and we got a lot of that stuff in the past?
Yes, it's a relief. I mean, it's big. You know, last year we didn't know what to expect. Everything was just tedious. You just had to do things right. We didn't get a chance to work out. We just came in the season and played, and eventually the weight room and everything caught up, and we started out 0-5, and ended up making it to the second round, which is great under those circumstances. But we look for big things this year.
What is it about these two gentlemen you have them here with you today?
The IQ of the game. They leaders and understanding the whole system. Cam, as far as offense, he run the offense. You know, he's young. Last year was his first year in there, and now he got understanding of what's going on. And Antonio, you know, he, believe it or not, everybody talking about basketball, but this guy, football, like you saw the interception he made, so that guy can play football. Yeah.
Guys, when you hear Coach talk about you in those terms, what does that mean to you personally?
It means a lot because, you know, we've been knowing Coach for a very long time, and for him to just speak highly on us is great.
No doubt. And it speaks about you leading the team like that and being more confident. How does that mean?
Man, it really means a lot. Cause I just came in here last year. All the pressure was on me. And how he just believes in me. It means a lot.
You know, one thing about Coach White that we realize, no matter where you go in Calhoun County, is well respected as a person. Having a guy like that as a leader for you guys, young men, what does that mean to you?
It means a lot. Like, you know, sometimes like I ain't had my dad in my life, and Coach White is like a dad figure to me.
Yeah, it means a lot. I mean, we've been knowing him ever since I've been knowing him ever since 6th grade. So, yeah.
No doubt. Coach, let me ask you this: the summer workouts are always very important.
Yes, sir.
Talk about what that's going to look like for the Anniston program in general.
Well, I tell you what, just getting at it. This summer we'll go early in the morning and get some work done on the field, 7-on-7, OTAs. The good thing, these colleges opening back up. We'll get some 7-on-7 and visit camps and just get these guys out there, let people know we got some good players here in Anniston. But they're going to work hard. They know what it takes. They hungry. You know, we would have made the semifinals. We made the second round, first round. We got our eyes on goal this year, so we'll get it together.
Guys, I appreciate y'all coming in, and good luck moving forward.
Hey, thank you. Thanks.
All right, Coach, introduce yourself and who you have with you today.
All right, I'm Nick Ledbetter. I'm head coach at Plainview High School. Here with me is number 12, plays quarterback and safety, is Noah White, and number 74, Mason Cooper, plays offensive guard and also D-line. Both these guys are seniors, and ever since I took this job, they were young pups, and they went through a lot and survived me for a few years, so now they get to talk to you guys.
Hey, Coach, one thing we was going to talk about, last year, spring ball was taken away from, spring sports in general was taken away from everybody, so this one's a little bit more special, but this particular spring, what's it been like since you got your hands back on these guys?
One of the things that's different this spring from last spring, obviously we got to work with our guys, we got to improve, we got to run a lot of plays, these guys did a good job taking the lead and making sure the younger guys bought in and to what we were doing and helped catch them up. So that was nice. But really going into last year and not having spring, we had an outstanding group of seniors. And these guys will tell you, I keep saying guys, but these fellas will tell you that those seniors led us, led the coaches, led me, led these players, and they did something really special last year. And they've kind of passed the torch to these guys. So that's really been the difference. It's been nice to be able to have spring, but to not have spring and not see your guys for so long and then come back in the summer, you need and to have success after that, you need some special guys to lead you. And we had some special seniors last year that led us along the way.
Now, you guys hear things like that about the leaders in the team last year. You guys have assumed that role now. Talk about what you guys are going to do, what you learned from those guys last year, and how you're going to take that and use that momentum to springboard this team.
One thing I really learned is discipline. Discipline is one key to success, and they really showed us what that was, and that's what will help us.
Absolutely.
One thing, like last year, coaches probably talked about it some, is like that group of seniors would be outside running, and they would just say more and more. It's a competition. See who could run the most every day. I think that pushed everybody as a team and just allowed everything to grow.
There was one day we had, I think we were running maybe 10 fulls or 10 halves on gashers, and then after practice they go back out there and run about 15 more. I think we ran right at close to 20-something gashers that day.
Jesus.
Except for 27, 28. There's another day we ran, 24 110s one day just because they kept wanting to run. Want to get more, want to be in shape. And that's the kind of guys we had with us last year.
You guys battled last year. We watched you play twice, and both times it was very physical, very good football games. My next question for you two guys is, seeing your opportunity in front of you now, having spring taken away from you last year, does this one mean a little bit more to you?
Definitely. This is our last one. With the way the coaching staff and everything's changed up, this is really our first and our last true spring training.
Absolutely.
It's definitely meant a lot because having it taken away from last year really shows what can happen. Don't take anything for granted.
And coach has brought in this triple option that you guys have kind of mastered now. It's become your baby. What's that been like, and how's that changed the game? And from a confidence standpoint, not just X's and O's and the scoreboard, but just when you guys go play now. I don't think you think you're going to be stopped by anybody, but how has that been a game changer for you guys?
It's definitely been a lot easier for us transitioning into it, and we've accepted the challenge pretty good, and feel like we just accepted it and played good with it.
No doubt.
I think one of the biggest things with changing something that major is getting the whole team bought in, and especially last year, everybody just bought into it. As soon as it was brought out to us.
No doubt.
It was just, everybody took it up.
Kind of like it's a glove that fit, Coach.
Yeah.
Not O.J. Simpson type stuff. No pun intended there. But, Coach, let me ask you about the summer workouts coming up. What is that going to look like for you? Because now, last year you didn't have the spring going into summer. Right. Now you got both. You got the momentum from the spring to carry over into summer.
Last year when we started, the state let us have our kids back June 1st. We had all these rules we had to follow, and the guys did a pretty good job with that. But we went, same way we practiced every day all summer. I don't know if we took a day. We took Saturday and Sunday off, but we were up there a lot last summer. This summer, we won't be as much because we're going to go 3 days a week, 7 a.m. We'll be done at 9:30. We'll be working hard in conditioning in June. And once we come back after July 4th, we'll be doing a lot of camps, line camps and skill camps and 7-on-7 camps, and trying to polish up a lot of stuff that's in our passing game and on the back end with our safeties and DBs.
Coach, we really appreciate you, and we've kind of seen since our channel started, we've watched y'all from this, and we're going to bring y'all in definitely this year and cover you guys a lot more, but we've seen the growth of your team, man, and I can tell it just by talking to you guys, man. There's a different confidence level with you guys, and we're excited about watching you guys this upcoming season, looking forward to getting in touch with you.
I certainly appreciate it. Thank y'all for what you do and letting these guys be exposed and pushing our game. This is a great game.
Hey, Coach, what are these guys eating here?
We eat.
These are like
we eat
everything we can find.
Anything around.
That is another thing.
Conditioning look like it's changed too. Did y'all change that as well? I'm talking about weight room stuff.
Weight room stuff never changed.
Never changed.
The way these guys work changed.
Gotcha.
The way they worked changed. But we did do our conditioning different last year. I don't feel like we ran more. They may say different. We ran a lot last year, but we ran a lot of long sprints last year, a ton of long sprints. And then feeding them. We were feeding our guys 8 times a week, doing our best to feed them as much as we could.
Good.
If you get into week 7, week 9, week 10, and your opponent's players have lost 9, 10, 15 pounds, and our guys has lost 3 or 4.
That's right.
That's big.
Huge.
Yeah.
Especially when you're controlling that clock and their offense is sitting on the sideline, Coach. Yeah. Eliminating them possessions with that offense you run. It's fun to watch. Coach, we appreciate you. Looking forward to seeing you guys.
I appreciate it. Thank you.